Let me start with this. A lot of people are asking me, is the market slow or is this changing? Because these numbers look confusing. Sales are down and inventory is up. Prices are mixed, it's all over the place. Instead of opinions, let's have a look at actual data from December 2025 and see what's happening in Waterloo Region market. Before we dig into the numbers, let me introduce myself. This is Anurag Sharma. I'm a local realtor in Kitchener, Waterloo, Cambridge region from the past 24 years. We are being #1 realtor consistently in the region. If you are a current buyer or seller in this market, please book an appointment directly with me by clicking the link below. Let's get into it. In December, total homes sold through MLS were 305 homes. This is about 9.5% drop compared to the last year and almost 20% lower than last 10-year average. So activity is slower than what we used to. Now when we look at what actually sold, things get interesting. Detached homes led the market with 192 sales, and that number is flat compared to last December. Townhouses saw 52 sales, which is down about 39%. Condos were at 35 sales, which is 14.6% down. But semi-detached homes stood out with the 26 sales and massive 123% increase from the last year, and it happens in semi-detached mostly because number of semi sales are lower than any other category, so things can fluctuate on percentage scale very differently than other categories. So what that conclude, the buyers are still active, but they are very selective what they are looking for, and that's where you have to be on their select list when you are putting your house for sale as a seller. Now let's talk prices. This is point where most of people get confused if you don't have information you're looking for. The average price of all different residential type property homes were around $716,000. That is down about 5.9% compared to last December, but slightly up compared to the November of 2025. Now let's have a look at individually. Detached homes were average about $839,000. That's a 6% drop from year over year, but again a small monthly increase from the month of November. Now townhouses average around $568,000, which is down almost 10% from year before, and condos average $366,000 average price in this region in December 2025. Here is a surprise. Condos are a little bit higher than before. They are 30% up compared to November, even though they are slightly down year over year. But don't get fooled by this number. There's still a lot of condos are in the market, and there's a lot of supply coming into the market. So you have to be very careful when you are a condo owner and putting your condo on the market for sale. But as a buyer, you have tons of options. We can discuss with you if you contact us. Now semi-detached, they are at 601,000. They are down from the year before, but they are up from month to month supply from the last couple of months here in the average price range. What that means, the prices are not crashing, but as a consumer, as a buyer or seller in this market, you have to be very selective with whom you are working because experience matter. Now let's look at the supply, because supply tells who has power in this market. There were 375 new listings hit in the market in December, which is up by 6.5% from year before and over 11% higher than 10-year average. And total number of active listings in the market were 1188. That's almost 16% increase from year over year. So last 10 years average of a listing for this time was 595, which shows that inventory was up nearly 28%. So there are a lot of options for the buyer today when they did the years before. When we convert this into the months of supply, here is what we see. Overall market supply is at 2.3 months. Condos are at highest is 4.9 months of supply, which is clearly a buyer friendly segment. Townhouses are at 3 months supply. Detached homes are still tight at just 1.7 months supply in the market. So based on this number, it's indicating that definitely the market is shifting towards buyer side more, and we can say this is a buyer's market. Now let's talk about how long it takes a home to sell in this market. In December 2025, the average days on the market was 45 days. This is a little bit longer than we have seen it before. That's slower than November, which is 39 days, and much slower than December last year, which was 36 days. So you have to be prepared when you're hitting your home in the market as a seller. It's going to take a little longer to sell. And even context, just want to share with you that 5-year average was 24 days to sell the house. So homes are almost taking double the time to sell as compared to what people used to see in the peak of the market. Now we have discussed the number of December 2025. Let's have a look at the whole year of 2025. Let's see what's happened in the real estate market. So total residential sales were about 6,177. Detached home sales were down about 7.5%. Town homes were down around 15%. Condos were down about 11.6%. Interestingly, semi-detached were increased about 4.5%. And overall, sales were down about 8.8% from the year over year and more than 25% below the 10-year average. At the same time, the new listings for the year increased over 15% compared to the long-term average. So here is the takeaway. So this is no pressure market for any consumer in this market, especially for the buyers. They can take their time, they can think about what they need, and they can negotiate price the way the market is dictating. They don't have to listen to the seller what they are selling it for. If you're buying, this is a kind of the market where patience and negotiation work. If you're selling, pricing, presentation, and who's working for you in this market, that really matters right now more than ever. If you want to understand how this data applies to you, you can directly contact me from the link below or call me. If you found this breakdown is helpful, make sure to like, share, and subscribe our channel. I will see you in the next update.